Welcome back to GM Worldwide Radio. This is Unfiltered, where we give it to you straight. And again, we are presented by Street Smart Society. They have all your graphic arts and video editing needs here. Head up to homie Philly Phil on streetsmartsociety.com. We back here again. We were talking earlier, local hero, Pitt superstar, one of the top 5 greatest tight ends in NFL history. Mike Ditka has put his foot in his mouth again. Being like, I understand that Mike Ditka didn't grow up in the Aliquippa that I didn't grow up in the Aliquippa that I visited a lot as a child. And I understand that, but the idea that he's like the most ignorant person I know when it comes to the strife of minorities in general. And he's always said some wild shit. He said some wild shit about Michael Sam when he came out as being gay and everything. Like Mike Ditka, he's like that uncle that you just know you can't take anywhere.
Oh yeah,
like you can't take him anywhere. Like he might I couldn't imagine like the fact that this is what we hear Mike Ditka say in person. I couldn't imagine what happens when Mike Ditka is like walking down the street with his grandkids and he sees like a transgender person and the stuff that might come out of Mike Ditka's mouth. Like it's just, and that's how like honest to God, Mike Ditka is fully unfiltered. He's like an overly unfiltered person just walking around in person.
Yo.
He's that old. And like y'all, have y'all seen those pictures of him at Heinz Field where they have the banners, all the players at Heinz Field, like Larry Fitzgerald, Curtis Martin, and then Tony Dorsett, and they have one to Ditka. And it's just like, you forget how old Ditka is until you see this extremely black and white picture of this man with no mustache. Kind of looks like he's our age. Like, it's like, Mike Ditka's old as fuck. Like, at this point, he just needs to be in an old folks' home, and they need to be on. They need to take his phone away. That's first and foremost. Like I feel like really soon, like smartphones are going to be up there with cars. When like after a person gets past 75, you got to take their smartphone away and give them back to the old.
Just a flip phone or something.
Yeah, because at some point you're going to find like you don't want to like, because a lot of y'all got some really racist grandparents and like older family members. So y'all don't want the world to find that out before they pass away. So it's like, like, hey, give me your phone. Like, no, I gotta let these young motherfuckers know, Grandpa, you're a staple of the community. If we let you send one more tweet, they're gonna start trying to tell us that you didn't do your job. Like, so no, like that's how I feel about Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka is a rat, and again, one of the greatest football players of this generation, or like the last generation, my bad. One of the greatest coaches we've seen with that 85 Bears team, and it's just like, bro, man, like. We want to fuck with you. Like up until like a couple years ago, I fucked with Mike Ditka heavy. Now it's just like, come on. It's kind of like who am I trying to think of? Like he's kind of like OJ, where it's like I want to let you slide, just like a lot of people want to let OJ slide, but it's like, but you won't go away. Just go away.
Yeah,
that's all. Like if Mike Ditka would have went away the first few times he said some slick shit, he could have passed away in a couple years, and I wouldn't even brought any of this up. Now it's at the point where when Mike Ditka passes away, I'm probably not going to celebrate it the way I would have. When I say celebrate, I'd rather celebrate than mourn a lot of people. Like I said, like Prince, MJ was sad, but I want to celebrate what y'all did. Mm-hmm. And that's how I would have looked at anybody famous's passing. It doesn't matter if you're a musician or sports legend or anything like that. When you pass, it's like, yes, we're sad, but let's watch some videos. Let's celebrate what happened. Mm-hmm. I can't do that with Mike Ditka almost at this point. Like it's like a year of that type of stuff. Like say like it's a year of people that I respected, and I'm like I don't know what I'm gonna feel about you when you're gone. R. Kelly, Mike Ditka, like it's like those people are just fucking it up. I'm like, y'all were a child. Y'all were some cool people in my childhood. Mm-hmm. Now I'm 24 years old, and y'all look like some bigots and some sexists. And it's what's real. Mm-hmm. Like I can't have the fact that this is what's real. I just wish it wasn't.
Like he was drafted like, all right, this is the Aliquippa in the 50s. Like he's right now 77. You know, he's from a different time. He was born in Carnegie. I don't really know if that really matters.
It was barely Carnegie.
It was like I don't even know what, Mike Ditka, perceives what like his reality is about, like if he doesn't believe that, what people not being oppressed and whatnot. I don't know where he was. Like, I don't know a part of Aliquippa like that is. I never, but then like he left it, he never came back.
Aliquippa isn't big enough to get into like parts like lower Aliquippa, upper Aliquippa, or where the mill used to be.
Yeah,
that's about it.
So,
like, and again, I I know if I went to Aliquippa, somebody like it's one of those communities where like, yo, where did Dicka live? They could probably point me to either where the house is or where the house used to be. It's like that. And outside of the fact that if you don't feel like walking up hills, like I don't feel like walking up hills, everything's within like a good 20, 30 minute walk of each other. Again, hills make it the difference. If everything was flat, everything would be 10 minutes of each other in Aliquippa. But hills make the time difference. Saying that, like I said, and I mean, I know I joke about it being a black community. It's a decently biracial community. It's just the white people are about the life, like our life now. And they've been about it for a while. Like that's how I feel about like a lot of areas in Pittsburgh when it gets like real racial. Like I always tell you, like, yo, don't be like slighting our white folks. So the white folks in some of these communities have dealt with the shit we gonna dealt with. It's just not like in a full-blown black against white way. So they still deal with the bullshit. After you live in an area like Aliquippa, Carrick, and the police see you and you're white, they start treating you like you're black because you've been in the area too long. Like it's a straight up thing. Like it's about who sees you. Like if you that one white dude in North Homewood, the cops treat you funny now. This is what it is. If you've been there for 10 years and they see you for 10 years straight, they treat you, but you're black now. You're a hoodlum and you're black. I'm sorry. It's what they do. And that's how it is in Aliquippa. If you lived in these areas long enough, it's what it is. And Mike Dicka never got there. He wasn't there long enough. He left and he got out. And he wants to come back like, oh, this is Aliquippa. This is my home. Like, no, bro. Like, it's not Arnie's barbershop anymore. It's Reggie's barbershop. That's what it is. And it's like I said, it'd be interesting. I hear stories of everybody else that comes back. I don't remember the last time somebody told me Mike Dicka came back to Aliquippa. No. Without the ESPN film crew. So I know he comes back like every couple of years with the ESPN folks to just like do the quick. And half the time they don't even go to Aliquippa. That's like a shot in Ambridge or Swickley. Swear to God. Or Crescent Township.
Oh shit.
I'm just keeping it real. And like I said, I love Aliquippa is one of the places, like I said, I'm always consider myself a Pittsburgh mutt, but I always show love to Aliquippa. People know that. Aliquippa needs to stand up and basically remove Dicka from the family.
Well, he pretty much like got rid of you guys. I mean, I don't
know. If you ask Mike Dicka about Aliquippa, he gives you that old cliche Milltown, strong parents, grew up in a strong Milltown, everything fell apart later. Like he'll give you that same spiel like everybody else does. It's not like he slights Aliquippa for you. No. It makes it sound Aliquippa made him who he is today. One of them type of conversations. Something I could never say about Baldwin.
But I don't know. He has like some type of restaurant up in like, what is that? What's Robinson? What's over east or west by the airport?
It's Robinson.
That's Robinson. Yeah.
It's either Robinson or Beaver Valley Mall.
No, Robinson. He got a spot. It's like a super expensive place to eat. It's overpriced and the food's lousy. I mean, that's what I've heard. I never went there. I'm not going to go there because I don't really care about Dicka like that.
I won't even pay to go to Bettis's restaurant, and Bettis is my top 3 favorite football players of all time.
I feel like you should.
No, because it's in the same boat as Dicka. The food's just overpriced because it's number 30. The 36 is all over the place.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, I rock with Bettis. He's, again, the reason I wanted to be the heavy running back. So, it's just food. Off subject, niggas put their name on something, they expect us to pay more. And I'm like, I'm not saying make it cheap, but like, I'm rock with the Starberries of the world. Let's just put it like that. Like I said, everybody knows that as a black community, I am at the point where I'm like, I feel like folks need to understand when we want to make money, you have to pay, and everyone wants to discount. I'm not saying that, but Bettis's food is out here priced for a complete different. I'm middle class. I'm not lower class. I'm middle class. And Bettis's prices are not for middle class. Meaning, no, I'm not going out of my tax bracket to buy this food.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta be realistic about it. Yeah.
Like I said, it's like I said, I've never, like I said, in my life, that's the one thing I'll never like. I've always said I understand how to be hood and suburb, but I've never lived in life that like I never had to worry about eating. So I'm never gonna act like I'm cheap. And that's probably the reason why I'll never will worry about eating. It's because I'm definitely cheap enough to worry about eating like that. But no, you ain't gonna catch me out on these highly expensive restaurants just because your name's on it. There better be something fire. Like I'm talking like the Food Channel would have to come to your shit. Like that, like Dine and Dives and shit like that. That would be the way I come out. But
I don't know. If I open up a place, that'd be pretty reasonable. I feel, I'm not going to go ahead and be charging anything wild. $15 for a nice meal. That's all. It's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's always fair. No, like from what I've heard from Bettis's, man, 2 people can go in there and try to get like a regular entree, it'd be like $50, $60.
Yeah, You dropping.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I need a 28% tip. And I'm like, well, I got 20 cents because I came here with like $65 and the tax killed me too. Like, it's like Atlanta to me, man. As soon as I hit a wet restaurant, I know they wax and it's like, yo, can I get that water? Well, we have the sparkling water with the extra, with the lemon and all that. No, like the free water. Like the one off the sink. I mean, do you got the Brita filter at least?
You got
no, I guess I just ain't gonna be drinking. You got some ice? Because I know that like you got like clean ice, nigga. Like I'm sorry, man. I got in an argument on social media earlier about like how like good and bad dates and like how expensive dates should be. And I'm just like, bro, it's 50-50. One day we go out to Red Lobster, the next day we go and go to Wendy's. Like I'm not out here to give you Red Lobster every day.
Oh no.
If you want cheddar baked biscuits, you better learn the recipe.
You can get them real cheap. You get the box. All you need is cheese. That's it. You need cheese and butter. And maybe
I feel like you've done this.
I bought them. Yeah, you can get them down at Aldi's. They're like $1.50 for a box, and you can make like a whole batch of the.
This is before your.
I'll buy special cheese. I'll buy cabbage cheese, which is lactose intolerant. Like it's
we're gonna
stop
this time. We're gonna stop this time before you get into your lactose intolerant cheese situation, because I know that shit don't taste like cheese.
No. It's normal cheese. It's just cheese that they just process that lactose out. That's all. It's normal cheese. It's like sharp cheddar. Like the cheddars are usually aged, and usually aged cheese have no lactose in it. So the more aged it is, the more likely it's not going to have any lactose in it. So
that's why I love this show, man. We go from Mike Dicker being a racist to unlactated cheese.
So that's how you can make. That's how I made the cheddar bay biscuits. That's all. I don't know. They're bomb as fuck. I mean, they're worth it.
You know what, man? One day you're gonna have to, one day for taste test, you're gonna have to come in here and make one of these lactase-free dairy product meals that you've eaten.
It's nothing different.
Yeah. You can say that. That's how vegan people tell me that like a vegan burger ain't nothing different. And then
that's like completely different. That's like with beans and quinoa or fuck. Like it's random grains that you don't really want. And you're like, I guess I'll do it because you're a vegetarian. We're going on a date for one day, and after that we're done after this because I need to eat meat. Like I'm gonna eat there and then eat later, like 15-20 minutes after that. Like I need to grab a sandwich. Like I need to eat real food. I mean, I could eat it.
It would be like any of those sitcoms you see where somebody goes on a date, but they got to leave the date like 30 times through the date. That'd be me. Like, oh, you ordered your food? Yep. Like, and I noticed outside the sit down restaurant. Like, oh shit. Wendy's your process. Hey, yo, girl, I gotta go fill up the meter real quick. I need a Baconator now, like quickly, like just make it a junior Baconator. I need to at least be able to like act like I'm eating the other bullshit she's giving me. Give me the junior Baconator. You got the Baconator fries too? Yes. Anything?
Yeah.
Just get it. That would be me. Like it would be like one of them sitcoms where you're trying to like do like the 2 dates at one time or something like. It would be just like that if I'm dating a vegan or vegetarian person. Like it's like, oh yeah, I ordered you the salad with like extra cabbage. It's like, yo, cool, baby, cool. You know what, man? I think I heard my car alarm go off. Oh, is the Baconator fries done? Cool. Yeah, like it would be like that. Like it would be like that. I'm sorry. Like I respect your lifestyle, but there's certain things in life where I'm just like, you might want to be a healthy eater, but if you're full-blown vegan or vegetarian, I just have to understand that we might not be made for each other. I'm willing to quit a lot of things, or at least I'm willing to compromise on a lot of things.
Yeah.
My love for meat, I'll die for that.
I could do this is all I could say. I'm willing just to give up 2 days, and that's really pushing it. 2 days a week of not having meat. And that's
the only time I don't eat meat in a day is the days that I'm so broke that I don't have the money to pay for meat. That's it. That's it. Like I've had days where I've eaten just like crackers and ramen noodles that don't have real meat in it.
Yeah.
I'm not out here for the just not eating meat on purpose. Like if every day I'll at least have one meal that has a decent portion of meat in it if I could.
Yeah.
Like it's just completely 100 about that. So it would be hard for you. It would be, and again, and my other issue is I am a C- cook.
Oh man.
So I also need you to be willing, even if you don't want to eat it, like you gotta be able to throw down some bacon one day.
Like bacon's not really hard.
Yeah, but that's like I feel like that's a mood point to some veg. Bacon is one of the meals that you gotta get real personal to make it. Like you're popping grease or you're shit. Like it's a weird one. Like I can imagine how it feels to have to watch somebody cook bacon if you're a vegetarian.
Bacon's safe if you're a vegetarian and you don't know how to cook it. All you do is just throw it in the oven and then throw like foil on top or something. I don't even know. No, what was the parchment paper? Yeah, parchment paper on the bottom. Put the bacon down. That's it. Throw it in the oven. You're good. You don't have to do anything.
True.
And I could be satisfied with bacon. Bacon wrapped whatever.
Like I said, this world of bacon, man. Back over to the news of the NFL, and like I said, everybody's starting to look a little racist and bigot. Again, Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder, owners of the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington R words, of now putting rules in their teams to force players to stand. No matter what the backlash is to Jerry Jones, part of this is the Cowboys players were going to stand before this. Like, the thing about the Cowboys, even the black players understand it's America's team thing, so they like have to run the persona to make the money, which this is now becoming a bottom line thing to the NFL. This isn't even about protests or Donald Trump. The owners are starting to believe that they're losing money on the protests. And I don't know. I need to see the first time that a player that I think matters on a football team gets benched over the protests. Like, I'm hearing it happening in high school now where people are getting kicked off their high school teams because of protests. It's happened a few times now.
So if they do it, like, I mean, who do you think? Nobody's going to get benched. On in Washington? Who's?
Terrell Pryor. He's the best player on Washington. Josh Norman. Even though I don't know, I never knew if Josh Norman was protesting, but Josh Norman's probably the best player on that team.
If he takes a kneel.
Jordan Reed. If Jordan Reed's healthy and Jordan Reed's healthy,
that's the only stipulation. He's played. If he's been playing for at least a few days straight,
and he needs, I couldn't imagine them saying like, healthy Jordan Reed, you're not playing.
Yeah,
I just couldn't imagine that coming out of anybody on Washington's mouth. So that's one of the players. Like Jordan Reed, I could not like. Jordan Reed kneels and they don't let Jordan Reed play. That would shock me a lot. Dallas, I would say Dak or Zeke. Yeah. At this point, Dez could get benched and nobody probably noticed.
No, if you get benched, I mean, like as the union,
the union doesn't have very much power in this. You can bench a player whenever you want.
You could bench him, but you're doing it for unjust reasons. So they could pretty much be like, well, you're making rules that you can't just throw in.
Oh no, the Cowboys and the Redskins as a teams have made these rules. So these are real rules now. And technically, Jerry Jones said he's had the rule in place since last year.
What?
Jerry Jones says he's had the rule in place since last year.
I didn't hear that. Yeah, why didn't he say any of this?
Oh, no. Remember, I don't remember what happened the first couple games with Dallas specifically, but the Arizona game, they kneeled before the national anthem and all stood up when the national anthem started playing. Again, Dallas is a little different when it comes to whatever is going on with Dallas and the kneeling. Now, everybody else, I don't know what happens if the Steelers tell everybody they got to stand.
Yeah.
Because if you bench an you can. Let's look at this in a Pittsburgh sense. Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell kneels and they get benched. I don't care. You're gonna have some Steelers fans that minds explode because you're gonna be the ones that are like, yeah, it's a flag, but we about to lose everything, and it's gonna be like that cross connect. Because I already told you my morals are fucked already. I play fantasy football. I start Ezekiel Elliott every week. I think he should be in jail. But I'm starting him every fucking week. There ain't no like I'm benching Zeke Elliott because of my morals. No, it don't work like that. It just don't work like that. So, yeah, no, like I said, it's not. I understand to a point the dilemma from some of these teams. Even though, like I said, I'm not benching nobody. I don't care if it's real football. I don't care if it's fake football until the U.S. Army or U.S. government tells everybody. Or reinstates like, yo, it's legally binding that you got to stand. I'm not here for it. Saying that, they say that people are disrespecting the flag. I do know there's like a big rule in the flag where you're not supposed to like wear it as decorations or anything.
You really shouldn't.
The Los Angeles Dodgers won their playoff series and they were celebrating in their clubhouse. Tell me why the one dude was walking around with a American flag Speedo.
You could just say the 70s. You could say from between 75 to 77. That was like the bicentennial year, 200 years, America. So like America was big. So everybody was red, white, and blue. So I mean, like, if you say that, then like back in the day, that was happening. So I mean, like we always like people usually wear some weird.
But technically on the code, it's not illegal, but it's heavily frowned upon.
It's like I thought it was like it's a crime to step on the flag like that.
Okay, so rubbing your junk against the flag is okay. Because that's what if you got a Speedo on, there ain't nothing between you and that Speedo that's American flag, red, white, and blue.
I would assume it doesn't have. I wouldn't assume it have all the. It has like a couple stars. It's not gonna have all the stars.
I know, because they said you're not supposed to wear it as costume, and that's a costume. Again, it's not like I said. How they make the flag sound was like you're not supposed to wear it. Like we ain't even supposed to be wearing T-shirts with the flag. For real,
Probably.
But like that's how I feel about like the whole situation.
Do you feel like you shouldn't wear the flag?
I almost bought Converses with American flags on it if it wasn't for the fact that I wasn't sure if the country rock with me like that. I want the Jeezy black flag joints from the Recession album. I want if I can get a pair of Chucks that are black and white with the flag, I do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm from back then. All right, I mean that's pretty dope, but that's not really the same.
No, but well, it's kind of like you aren't supposed to alter the flag in any way either.
Yeah,
which that's altercations of it. Again, I just like everybody to know, like, yo, you're always acting about who's disrespecting the flag. I'm like, hey, we ain't supposed to be using the flag as decorations or clothing either.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be, and plus you should be, if you have flags like out, you should take them down like every day, like, you know, the treatment of that, like folding it up, like, you know, like.
Oh, you can get arrested for leaving your flag out.
I mean, you going half mast. Like, I don't know if you should be like doing half mast and whatnot, but.
The president made it for the half mast thing for Vegas victims, even though technically the Vegas victims do not fall into the code of half mast. I'm not saying they should not be half mast. I think the flag should be half mast.
Like in distress or something. Like
no, it's like high level military members or and government members who are only supposed to get a half flag. Not everybody's supposed to get a half mast for that. But again, I think the half mast is perfectly warranted. Not denying that. But like I said, Jerry Jones, Cowboys. It's gonna be interesting. Even though I don't think the Cowboys are gonna be the problem. I think that other teams that try to do this will have the problems. Nobody from the Cowboys is gonna step to Jerry Jones.
No, but I still think it's illegal. It's on part of the contract. It was never in the contract.
Jerry Jones said that this is an owner. The owner makes the rules. If this rule's been in place for a year, it doesn't matter. Who would he have to enforce it against? We don't know. Nobody on the Cowboys was kneeling, and you can't just say there were teams where nobody kneeled. There are teams in the NFL.
What about preseason?
I don't know about the preseason, but like when it comes to the regular season, the Cowboys players didn't really kneel.
And when we said coaches fire players, you should say they're.
Oh yeah, no. He's out here acting like people are gonna get benched. So like, if I'm waiting to see if somebody gets benched,
fine, bench me. I mean, like you can't, but I mean, I'm not.
And you still get paid. That's my thing. Like with the current state of the NFL, unless I think I'm going to the Hall of Fame, I'll take a bench ride for a full paycheck if I'm a starter. If you want to fuck the team up, because my thing is like I said about Odell Beckham Jr.
That whole thing is if white players think they need to, and then everybody gets suspended. Because if it comes down to where they just say it's only black players, and you put it's like actual quarterbacks and wide receivers, tight end, everybody. And the fans actually will say, well, wait, we don't really care that much if they kneel because it affects it's not just going to be black players.
Well, no, that was something that was brought up today. Shout out, because I watched what goes on around here. Shout out to First Take and ESPN and them. And I was watching Stephen A. Smith earlier. He said that, like, what if a whole team kneels?
That's the only way to go against the coaches. Otherwise, they will just replace players and go.
That's the other thing. What do you think a team is ready to, like, say? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team that's like almost about to win a title but ain't there. Like Oakland, if Derek Carr didn't hurt. Do you think Oakland's ready to fully rebuild because the team decided that they didn't rock with the flag? Like start over?
No team's going to be able to stay in the stands to watch a game.
True.
Everyone's going to turn it off. Then it's going to hurt them better. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all just the punters and the second string on it. You're like, okay, I'm not saying this. That's all we get.
And again, the NFL this weekend lost its first regional sponsor. Again, it was a New Jersey sponsor. It was a car dealership.
Oh,
but it's the first. He's the first domino to fall. Okay. And his memo was basically, "I'm tired of all the protests. I'm not here for disrespecting the flag. I mean, that's how, like I said,
it's just crazy when you hear it that way.
But again, if it starts infecting the NFL's bottom line, they ain't gonna care. And no matter how much we think the NFL rocks with our movement, as soon as the NFL loses its money, they don't give a fuck about our movement.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And we're getting to that point where some businesses, right or wrong, and it's going to be the small mom and pops. Walmart ain't going to come out and say, we're done with the NFL. Coke or Pepsi, whatever.
I think it's Pepsi?
Yeah, Pepsi's not pulling out of the NFL.
No,
but
they have the halftime show, right?
Yeah,
for the Super Bowl. That's like that has so like that is the number one one of the biggest ones in America.
Yeah, but like Cochran Auto for the Pittsburgh people, Cochran Auto can pull out.
All right.
And if
I would actually be happy. I'll be happy. I can care less about Cochran.
Or Laminate Home, like any of the floral places like that. And after you get like 100 or 200 of those from across the country, it'll make a difference on the. They make a lot of money off these places for commercials.
Yeah.
But
the beer is gonna stay. If not, there'll be a different beer company.
Actually, the first major one that goes will probably be beer.
Bud Light, and Miller will give up like that. Really?
Their demographic.
Yeah.
Again, that's the thing. We ain't talking Henny. We ain't talking OE. We're talking like Budweiser, Miller High Life, Pabst.
Pabst?
Like,
we threw that in.
I'm just talking about for the Caucasian beer drinker. Like that's you got to think of it like that. If it hurts their bottom line, I'm not out here buying 6 packs of Budweiser.
You could always pick a different beer. We got other beers out there.
Oh no, that's all true. But again, that's why I'm like,
I'm just saying, like all these years that you've been out here promoting beer, and you're just gonna just give up like that. Like this was your number. It's
not giving up to them if they think that because the thing is, after a certain amount of people, again, I never thought I always say being on the right or wrong side of history. Yeah. At this point, this is the first time where I've seen the idea of history be dictated. Because usually when I say right or wrong side of history, it's a pretty straightforward. Somebody thinks they're right, but you're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
Right now, this country's showing us, or at least showing me, that their idea of what's right for the history of the country might not be the same for me.
Yeah.
So in this NFL, sadly, you know what kills me about this right now? The NFL is basically driving the political climate of the country right now, at least inside the country. Whatever happens to the NFL is what I imagine is going to happen with the rest of Trump's presidency. So if the NFL folds and gives in to Trump and the flag people, I see that's how the rest of the presidency goes. Now, if the NFL fights back and wins, then I see that's how it's going to go.
That'd be cool.
Right now, we losing heavy.
Yeah.
We're taking losses, man.
I mean, listen, I don't know. All I'm saying is, I don't think the beers are going to go away. I mean, you got the what's that? You had these class commercials coming all those.
How many brothers do you see on these commercials? Ever since the Miller High Life dude passed away. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
None. I
don't know.
That's the, like I said,
they usually throw in the Clydesdales. That's about all they do.
But yeah, that's my point. Like I said, Budweiser is an American flag company. Like I said, it's not. Again, this could be a year away. I'm just saying that the first corporate sponsors that are going to go are going to be bigger.
So pretty much, I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to get benched like that. If AJ Green takes a knee, you gonna if you're a Bengals fan, would you care about the Bengals like that?
Nah, but again, these owners got to prove what's important. Because everybody's out here. This is my thing. Everybody's out here throwing out their cards, but nobody wants to check anybody's bluff.
Yeah.
Because in hindsight, this is the issue with the NFL. If this was basketball, I would automatically believe that somebody's going to call Jerry Jones' bluff because everybody in basketball gets paid and their contracts are guaranteed. There's only 2 people on the Cowboys that could afford to step to Jerry Jones. One of them is Jason Witten. Jason Witten ain't stepping to Jerry Jones. He ain't got no reason to.
No.
The other one is Ezekiel Elliott. He got his own problems.
He's not going to do shit because he's getting protected. And I feel like Des Bryant's not. I feel like Des is
Dez's job isn't safe.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't count him. He's not safe. He's been terrible in the last couple of years. So he actually can lose his job at any moment. So no, if Des need, I actually can imagine Des being benched.
Shit.
Oh, and Courtney Lee, but again, Courtney Lee's a white person, so he's probably not going to step to Jerry Jones like that either.
I guess.
I hate the categories court category. Put you in that category, but you might rock with us, but you ain't got no reason to fuck your money up for us. This is what it is.
If you believe in equality in the issue at hand, it's not necessarily
Nobody's going back to the hood for this equality stuff. You're not even Colin Kaepernick, is what I'm saying.
This is that playing out all the time. So.
It's about what's right.
But again, that's why I wish this battle was happening in the NBA. Because everybody in the NBA, even if they get cut, they're going to be cool. Not everybody in the NFL can lose the NFL job right this second and be okay.
That's the decision they gotta make. Which you want, everybody has a job. say or quit. You have your normal job, and your boss said you got to do this, or quit. That's your normal.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. But again, it's easier for us to remake up our quota. Like I could lose my job and go find a decent job to make up what I make. You can fire from the NFL. Home Depot ain't bringing you back.
Well, yeah, they would. Home Depot bring you back.
I'm not saying no. I'm talking about bringing you back to like we're like, oh, I need to pay this condo.
Oh no,
that's what I'm saying.
You ain't gonna get
so there is like that too. Like I said, I've never been like, oh, everybody needs to protest. Because I understand that everybody's money ain't built the same way as mine. I've seen the 30 for 30s when they just go broke.
Yeah. I mean, there's a. It's up to you if you want to make like put a push. I mean, like there's a point where it's like you have your own moral code. Like it's like, are you degrading yourself if you do this, or like is this something you defend? Is this something that you like?
Well, that's the other thing. Like, when did the NFL players become puppets because they weren't kneeling? So I'm confused about that because it feels like
not kneeling. I'm just saying, let's just be personal. That's something.
Because
what you do by fear of not being part of the state. To me, I don't believe that. That's just me.
Oh no, I got a kid. I got a kid. Like my financial stability is a little bit more important than some other people sit. Like that's why I look at it as like, nah, like I gotta wake up and help feed somebody else other than me. Like I'll take more shit than the average person.
Phillip Rivers is not kneeling because he has to feed all his kids. Cromartie needs a
yeah. That's the person. Cromartie is not kneeling. Like the amount of child support for 12 kids, I don't care what your moral failings are. Because you know what your moral failings take you into? If you don't pay the child support for them 12 kids, you go to jail. There's a whole different level for Cromartie. It's not even that serious for me. Like I know if I lost my job, I still got a little while before they come knocking like, hey, you got child support or you go to jail. Cromartie is an immediate, he loses an NFL job. So we notice you don't have an income and you have about $100,000 worth of child support a month to give up. So what you doing? That's different. Like no, like that's not even fair. Like I would feel so bad for Cromartie if he got cut. Like,
can you get that like all like refinanced? I don't know like how like there's no way you're like
it shows that you lost the job.
Yeah, I've had that happen once.
Okay, I was gonna say like I ain't putting out 100,000.
Like no, the only thing that happens is the court system's slow, so it takes about a month to 2 months to get the court date set to redo it. So like the last time that happened to me, I ended up back like a couple $100 back child support just because it took a month for me to get to court to be like, yo, I've been working a different job that paid less for 2 months, and y'all were telling me to take that. So that happens. But to me, like I said, at this point, and again, like the thing about the NFL is, I believe by the time I die, the NFL won't be a sport. Like, no matter how much I love it.
That's the way they're playing it.
You think it would change the game? Like, do you think?
I think that by the time I die, lacrosse might be the most popular sport in this country, low key.
Lacrosse? Oh, I don't like lacrosse like that.
I don't either. I'm just saying that, like, Pittsburgh, for one thing, we live in a anomaly of a place. We're like one of the only cities in America that just don't give a fuck about concussions. School football, we will send our kids out to go play midget and pee-wee football at the age of 6 with helmets of full contact. Nobody cares.
There's a sport like in Europe that like be with fighting.
Like
you do like it's like everyone fights everyone. Whoever has the ball, like.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. It's straight up like squaring up. Like
yeah,
at some point, I lost where the ball was, and the camera was just focusing on one-on-one fights with people. It's a crazy sport. Europe don't care about that type of shit, though. That's why Europe don't care about that type of shit. The same thing with hockey. That's why hockey is more of an international sport because they're still out here fighting.
Yeah,
like straight up punching each other in the head while we're over here crying about concussions.
Or a foul, or like just somebody slapped my hand. Oh, that's a foul.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of foul balls, a Chicago Cubs fan is now suing the team because he got hit with a stray foul ball during a Cubs Pirates game this last year, and he is now blind. I think in his left eye, he's blind in one of his eyes. But I think it's left. I've always said, man, like I took my son to his first baseball game a year ago at the Pirates game, and the hardest part about it because we had like not third base, but we were on the third baseline, but we were like 20 rows back. That's 20 rows back at PNC Park is still really good seats compared to midnight and upper decks and shit.
Yeah.
And we were on the foul, like I said, third baseline, foul territory. And the whole game, my hardest thing was keeping my phone out of my hand because I'm in my mind, outside of watching the game, I'm trying to make sure I protect my son.
Yeah.
So he's saying there should have been a net, and he technically snuck into the game, so he didn't get the.
No, he snuck in.
Well, no, there's a part of that. If on everybody's ticket, it has like the thing like watch at your own risk. He didn't technically get the warning.
Oh.
So he's saying because he wasn't given the same warning as everybody else about watch at your own risk, that the Cubs are responsible for him getting hit in the eye because they didn't have a net. Which that's a whole bunch of like ifs and.
Worse off. You snuck in or came on a deal that you don't even think. Now you don't even count. To me.
I know. I look at it that way.
Like, can you sue somebody like if a fly ball, you're out there by the point, or like like the one section like over the river, and then like a fly ball just comes over and hits you outside the stadium?
I try. I would say like, I don't know if it'll work, but I try. If I was like you talking about like the river
an act of God.
It says walking down this riverfront or waterfront is that you're on. There's no.
Because I know. And I would try at PNC Park, but I know over at Pitt, at their sports complex, where they have the baseball field right next to the street.
Oh, yeah, right there.
There's signs all over the place saying, like, do this at your risk. Now, Pitt, I do know because I used to work there. Now, if your car does get hit, Pitt, it will work with you. They have no legal right to help you. They have no legal right. Like, if your car, I've seen plenty of car windows get busted out there because
that's a hot spot to get busted. My dad got his window busted right there.
Yeah, like I said, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But again, and there's signs. Pitt does not have to do it. Pitt, if you contact them the right way, don't go up in there cussing niggas out. If you go in there and talk to them about it, they might not pay for the whole thing, but they'll work with you and get some of that down for you for your windows.
Number one call.
Basically, it's a booster probably, but yeah. But but again, no. If I was walking down on the Roberto Clemente, or I was down on the Riverwalk and I got crushed, or even worse, you get crushed and you like fall into the water. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's. Like, I don't know. Like, he went ahead and he just snuck in the game.
Stuck in the game.
So, like, even though let's say he gets paid out, they still, like, charge him for trespassing?
I would.
I mean, like.
You got on the steps and you were about to sue me at the stadium for falling, and I found out you weren't even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That's like the thing about, like, the person that broke into somebody's house and then tripped on something and sued them.
Yeah, no, fuck that. You're dead. You come in my house like you ain't coming out. Like,
it's always should be first and foremost. Yeah, you come in unwanted, you ain't going out the same way.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Six and Michelle Beadle over at ESPN. Again, we said yesterday Jamel Hill was suspended for her comments on Jerry Jones. Michael Smith sat out of the Six yesterday. He did not do his show. And Michelle Beadle, the most lit white woman on ESPN, it always has been, supported her. Sports Nation?
Yeah.
Yes. Like everybody, like I said, Michelle Beadle has always had a lifetime membership to the Cookout, but she's always kept it real. She's always kept it real. She didn't care about being on the right side of stuff. That's why I've always rocked with her shows, no matter who's on the shows with her.
Saying that about that, then you should have the expectation that you could see people kneeling that are white.
I know, there are white people kneeling.
That's the only way to fight something that's corporate like that.
Yeah.
I know there are white people kneeling.
We're just going to take it out of these people, but the other staff said, "Hey, no, wear the ball too."
Yeah.
You got to fuck with us.
I know Michelle Beadle.
I don't care if it was something about white people. And black people say, "All right, well, where's Barcelona?" Then the job has to all right, maybe this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's why ESPN's never gotten into it until now. But no, Michelle Beadle has come out and basically she's poking at ESPN. She came out and said something bad about Donald Trump on purpose. Yeah. Because now she wants to see if y'all gonna treat me the same way I'll treat Jamel.
First it's white.
Yeah.
And then it's you're a woman too. It can happen to her. So she's like, well, let me jump on.
I know Michelle Beadle straight up like, well, you gonna suspend me too? It's basically that. Like Michelle Beadle, which I rock with.
You let this happen to one because of color. It's gonna happen next because of gender. It's gonna happen next because of age.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I dare y'all to fight. Like, even though I rock with Jamel Hill, I have a crush. What many of us say?
I don't feel way worse. Like it shut down. I'm not on my ESPN.
Oh yeah, straight up. Michelle Beadle gets kicked off of ESPN. We're done.
Oh shit.
Like the thing is, I've been watching Michelle Beadle for years, and she was like a low-key.
Oh shit. Yeah.
She was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my thing. Michelle Beadle has been like the low-key crush since high school. And she's been cool. Like I said, she's been cool. Like there's been other cute women on, but she's also the one that I'd be afraid to step to because I feel like one, she might check you. Like she might straight up check you. She might start ripping on you, bro. Like you try to like to talk to Michelle Beadle and she don't like how you look. She might give you bars. Like it's that real with Michelle Beadle. Like it was like you have to come correct. Yes. So like no, like Michelle Beadle is definitely one of the ones that I know will lose her job to prove a point, and then go jump on Fox and tell them why ESPN sucks.
I don't think they could be on Fox, can they?
Yeah, that's what half the people on Fox came straight from ESPN.
I thought ESPN was owned by ABC.
I'm talking about when their contract's up. Like that's
yeah.
why Skip is on Fox now.
Yeah, okay.
Or the worst person on the planet, Colin Cowherd. I hate Colin Cowherd.
Tell him how you feel.
Because his entire time he's been talking so much trash about Kaepernick and how Kaepernick couldn't start in the NFL. And I'm like, there's at least 3. I don't care how many wins the Jets get. I know Colin Kaepernick will still be the best quarterback on the Jets he walks in today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boss. Yeah.
So like, and Colin Cowherd's always talking about, I'm not going to talk about a bad. Basically, that's what he does on the show. If you ever watch the show, whenever he has to talk about Kaepernick, he's like, I don't want to talk about Kaepernick because he's a backup quarterback, but my numbers go down. He said this live. My numbers go down if I don't talk about Kaepernick. And he said that, like he tried to make this like stand about, I'm not going to talk about Kaepernick because I don't talk about backup quarterbacks and he's not good enough to start. And I'm like, bro, I don't agree. Like that's the point where we have an issue. Is like I don't think he guarantees a job in the NFL. Like he was not at the point where he was guaranteed. But how this offseason went with quarterbacks getting hurt, Jay Cutler somehow fucking starting, Tony Romo retired. That was when I got to the point where like at least he should be a backup somewhere.
No, he should. No. If Josh McCown is your starter, you could have had.
He's right. I can't.
Josh McCown.
One in whatever. They only have one win.
No, that's Brian Hoyer.
Well, I can deal with Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is a quarterback I can deal with.
Josh McCown's over in the Jets, and they're
I'm hanging he can start as a Jets quarterback right now. I've been saying that for months. He probably can start right now as a Giants quarterback. I can say right now that Colin Kaepernick is probably better than Eli Manning right this second. Yeah. Honestly, that's what Houston did. Houston started Tom Savage and noticed that Tom Savage couldn't defend himself because their line was that bad. So they put Deshaun Watson in because he could run. Yeah. Basically, the idea was for Houston that, we might get Tom Savage killed. At least if we put Deshaun Watson back so he could run for like an extra 3 seconds and try to throw the ball, which has worked. Yeah. But they did not.
No,
oh, they're still on 5? Oh, yeah.
So he can't play for that. Like, you couldn't imagine no way. So that was a small move.
Yeah, again, he's right. I take that back. Even though I do think Brian Hoyer is not a terrible quarterback.
I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. Who does he have over there?
Pierre Garçon. That's it. And I like Pierre Garçon, but like Pierre Garçon alone doesn't help you.
He can't do it all.
You're getting like 17 points a game in fantasy though. But man, back over to the real shit. Like I said, there's a decent amount of teams where I'm like, he should at least be the back. Honestly, God, I don't see what happens when Ben gets hurt. Y'all keep on telling me Landry's getting better and that Dobson dude is cool. Ben gets hurt, the season's wrapped. Y'all might win one game.
Over. Like, let's say, what if Ben were to kneel too? And they're like, are we benching you too?
He might not get back up. I just imagine that, getting up off the ground from one knee is a rough thing for Ben at this point.
Come on. I think he's kind of healthy. He's probably 80%, which is that's better than he's been before.
And after that game last weekend, he might be 75.
No, he's
40% mental capacity.
If he was a quarterback, in Madden, his stat should at least be a 78.
Wait, what are you talking about? For injury?
No, I'm talking about his if he was on the, I don't know what it is in Madden right now. If it was released, is it out?
The new Madden's been out since August.
I don't have it. So, but I'm just saying, if you had the stats like that, he would probably be a 78. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. But shit, I don't know.
Jump back over to the what has been the biggest news of the day, even though I know nothing about this world. If you probably know Harvey Weinstein. I think he was big in the movie industry, and I know his wife had a very large fashion line. He has been accused by 3 women today of rape. He's losing a lot of support. I know he's had award-winning movies with Meryl Streep and stuff like that. He's losing a lot of support. Like I said, I know nothing about this man. Seeing this man's face when I walked into my day job today was the first time I seen him, and I just know his world's falling apart. And his wife basically they guaranteed his wife's getting a divorce. Basically, man, treat women with respect. Basically, they just said he was out here just disrespecting women everywhere he went. Like, those rumors about like, hey, you come into the basically, we adults, if you've ever gone onto the certain website and you've seen backroom casting call, he was living the real life. Like, he was living that real life. You come into, hey, you want this movie role, baby? I need to see a little skin. Like, so how bad you want this part? I got this side role. Now that's just for the skin. Now you want to be the guest role, the number 2 actress? Oh shit. We need to get a little physical.
Get a little greasy up in this place.
Yeah. Like,
he's making that
take the
video
camera.
too.
I'm gonna need you to take this camera and hold it while I
While I do this line.
Yeah, that's what he was out here living the life of y'all favorite porns. Like, just keeping it, like I said, unfiltered. We give it to you straight. I'm just 100%. And that's what he was doing, and that's not right. Like, no woman should have to be base her come up in any business, on any promotion, getting a job, keeping her job. None of that should have to be conducted with sexual favors.
No, it shouldn't.
And that's what they were doing out here. So, you're gonna go down. You're gonna go down hard, man. You're gonna go down alone. Yeah. He did something shady to get the.
He's been behind it. I'm just saying, like, all the movies, like.
Oh no, like I said, he's a very big person.
Music, Miramax, all that, he's behind all them companies. But
and I do know he came out today to one of his boards and basically like pleaded with the board of one of his companies not to fire him. That's when you know your company's big, when it's your company and they can fire you.
Oh, that sucks.
Change the name of the company to one because it's his last name. So
he would just.
Still under that, so
you don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have to change the name. It's like this is a bad example, but Sandusky, they had the issue with his foundation because they still had the foundation, which was without him still helping people. But they had the name Sandusky on the foundation. Nobody's donating to anything that says the word Sandusky on it.
Nope.
And it fucked up the foundation. And it's gonna be the same thing for him.
Oh shit! He probably that's what he.
I bet that was a true story. Now
that's a true story. He's like, all right, we doing this in Pittsburgh. We getting all these people. Shit. So yeah, like I said, a lot of your favorite movies, man. There's some dark stuff behind it now, and TV shows. Like I said, the biggest one is when Meryl Streep came out. Because if Meryl Streep comes out and talks shit on you, it's over. Everybody loves her. She's like the white Oprah. Like, everybody loves Meryl Streep, and it's a wrap. Like I said, as soon as I found out she talked bad, I'm like, ooh, no, you're done. Absolutely over. Big news in California today. Weird news too, because I never thought we'd see a reversal in this law. In California, they reversed the law saying that if you knowingly expose yourself to others with HIV and you have HIV, it's no longer a felony. Wait, what?
If you have a sexually transmitted disease, HIV specifically, in most states, if you do it purposely, like give somebody else HIV knowingly that you have it, it's a felony charge.
Yeah, that should be,
California just repealed the law. Yeah, like that's a weird thing. Like that's a weird thing for me to be like they repealed the law. So the first thing that means I'm handling this myself. If I can't trust the legal system to protect my body whenever other people's out here playing around with like dice, because that's what I think it is. We have people that have this stuff just be like, yeah, we're just gonna get laid. Fuck the condom. That's playing with my life and my emotions, Smokey.
Now I'm not gonna trust California like that.
I mean, it's still up to you to wrap it up. Like wrap it up. But nah, man. Like I said, that's. Again, like if you don't go to jail for the maximum amount of time, aka the felony, then I'm taking life. Like they already know how I feel. There's certain rules and things where I'm like, I'll do this crime, and I'll go straight to the judge and tell him I did this crime. Giving me HIV/AIDS on purpose. If you've seen the South Park episode, I'm coming at you like Kyle. Coming straight at you like Kyle, and it's gonna be a wrap. Like you're gonna have to say something. Like you don't have to prove to me that Magic Johnson got the cure.
Yeah. Straighten up money into
yeah. Like, I'm not here for any of it. Yeah. Also, shout out to Common. Common came out today and said that he thinks that Jerry Jones has slave owner mentality when it comes down to the standing up for the flag stuff.
Common, he's the person to say something.
I mean, it's common sense to me.
Common.
I beat him
You
to the
beat
punch.
me to it.
I beat him to the punch. I'm taking that one today. That's gonna be my Cordy line for the day.
But shit.
Like. Y'all won't be able to see it. Actually, I'm gonna post this onto the page right now. I'm literally looking at a picture of the Weinstein guy with Meryl Streep, like that picture right there. Like happy as hell at the movie premiere. I almost broke this dude's shit. But yeah, like I said, straight like, and now she's out here basically saying fuck him. Like she came out today and said fuck him.
She's not gonna stand by again. A woman.
There, I have to look it up, but there was a woman fashion designer.
Yeah,
that
not very lame. The other one, she said, "Look how women are dressed nowadays."
Yeah, she's been moonwalking back out all day since she said that shit.
So, yeah.
That's the one. I don't even understand like how we get mad when like people like Ben Carson come out and talk about the black community. I can imagine what it's like when a woman says that. When it's like when you dress like this, like I'm like you're a woman though. Like you don't like all this aside. Every once in a while, a woman wants to be able to show off her curves. Every once in a while, not every woman has to walk around like a librarian every day of the year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And every once in a while,
don't mean that it's free reign to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not. Like I said, I always say I respect women that are like dress up and be able to like stay fully clothed. Like KK, she be in here doing her show, but she's always clothed fully, even with her curves and everything working the way it does. But I'm saying that if you want to come out with a belly shirt and some in a booty shorts one day, it shouldn't be the end of the fucking world. And it shouldn't be like, oh, she was walking around asking for it. No, you're a sick fucking pervert. And if you're a girl that thinks that way, then you're not helping nobody. I'm not saying every woman needs to be feminist because that's just annoying to me. But like, you're the reason that there's feminists. You're the reason I got to deal with these chicks that are like, oh, you don't respect me. Like, no, I do respect you. And I want to fight with you. But your fight is like all men are evil, and I'm like, I'm not gonna support that.
That's like a third wave feminist. That's a little bit intense. There's like different waves. There's
I
like
haven't seen one of these other waves. The only wave
the first wave was like during the 20s, whenever just women rights, just the voting and whatnot, and then there was the second wave like the 70s, all that. So that like right now we're getting into a new phase of like rip off the dicks and kill them. Like,
so we have a female version of Nick Cannon out here today. My ex-boo, because I've ever since she did what she did to Dodge Genius, I fell off on her and I basically stopped listening to her music. But Janae Akio apparently now has a Big Sean tattoo. Like we're talking like detail. Like it's not as big because it doesn't look like it's in the same place, but it's up there with Nick Cannon's Mariah Carey tattoo, and it's very detailed. Like you got Big Sean's whole goatee. Well, she's light skinned, so it's a little easier to put the detail into the tattoo. But this tattoo, it's going on the page right now. Shout out to Michael Blackstone because that's where I'm stealing it from. But yeah, like I said, it's I've never like. First thing, she just got the divorce finalized like 2 days ago from Dr. Genius. Like just got the divorce finalized, and now this cat like she even got the hairline. Like this is fucking crispy.
Yeah, he looks.
It looks like a smack girl.
Yeah, so it's like right here.
But that looks like a fresh cut. Like I'm not into getting people's tattooed on your body, but this might be one of the best tattoo of somebody I've ever seen.
It's like good art, yeah.
Like I don't rock with this tattoo at all, in the idea of it. But this was like a real picture of Big Sean. Like this looks like graphics on video games that got really good. True.
That doesn't look like the right pick. Like the teacher of the chain.
It's also that's not the Big Sean I know.
Yeah. I could definitely give you that.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And she doesn't like. I've never seen her like dressed up. She's never dressed badly, but she seems like the sweatpants girl.
Yeah.
Which I've always rocked with. Like to me, that's always what I'm looking for. Like I'm like, yeah, you look good in your dress shirt, but are you woman enough to come out in some sweatpants and some joggers, like on a regular day? Before we get to this break, I want to get one last thing on our y'all sadness of the week. My weekend was pretty sad too, but it wasn't like 30-9 sad. Was that what the last score of the game was?
What, last night?
No, Sunday.
Sunday? What was it?
The Steelers game.
Yeah.
Yeah. My weekend wasn't that bad. Saying that, apparently now, Leonard Fournette is asking for a new contract already.
Because of the one game?
No, this is the second time he's gone off like this year. But there's also video of him going and egging on Steelers players to try to tackle him, and they could not. He could not be.
All right, now that's
Leonard Fournette's out here just like he basically stunned on you.
I don't know what's going on with like the defensive line. Like the secondaries, like that should be covered pretty much.
Y'all didn't get shredded through the pass.
No, No, like if you look at the passing yards, like
It wasn't that bad.
it wasn't bad. Like because Alan Hearn had to like get beat. Like he pretty much got shut down by what's his face. I'm assuming it was
And Mercedes Lewis didn't do
Mercedes
anything.
Lewis and who's the other dude? Marquise Lee. They didn't do nothing. So it was all running. Yeah, he just Leonard Fournette just walked through our entire defense, and everybody let it happen. Carrying like five yards of carry shit.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. That's basically all he just said.
That's all.
Speaking of that, so big trade. The NFL is not the league for trades. It doesn't happen that much. I think the last big NFL trade that wasn't off-season related was Percy Harvin to the Seahawks a couple years ago, or Jimmy Graham to the Seahawks.
Who cares? Percy Harvin went everywhere and he didn't do shit.
Percy Harvin won a Super Bowl that year. So even though it didn't look good, they won a Super Bowl.
You just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, you make it sound like to me, if I trade and we win the Super Bowl, you might not have done much, but at least the persona. And remember, he ran a kickback in the Super Bowl.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Now, Jimmy Graham, one I'll give you because they gave up like one of their best offensive linemen and got a tight end that can't block. So I'll give you that.
But like that's like Reggie Bush. Like who really cares about his like ring?
Reggie Bush?
Reggie Bush is the only person.
Don't tell anybody who cares about his ring. The person that wearing it, that's who cares about the ring. What do you mean? I'll defend that. Like I said, I might not rock with Reggie Bush's whole career, but I'll defend anybody that got the ring. And you're gonna be like, who cares about the ring? Him. Yeah. He cares about it until the day he got upon it.
Does the practice squad get? Do they get a
ring?
They
get smaller rings.
Oh.
Speaking of that, practice squad. If you make it, and you have to be on the practice squad like a certain amount of the year.
Oh.
Speaking of that, officially the first Chicago Cubs World Series ring is up for auction. I don't know who gave it up, but somebody's already trying to sell off their Chicago Cubs World Series ring.
It's probably none of the players. If I was a player, I would not give up a ring. If I was management, yeah, because I could.
No, that Cubs ring. No, that's 100.
Well, no, I would. That's like that value should be a lot of money.
Like I'm not stunning on it, but I could see if you were somebody that were part of the 4 Super Bowl rings in the 70s. I can see you get part of one of those before you knew what Super Bowl rings were going to be worth later.
Yeah.
But, or even a Patriots player now. Like if you were on the Patriots and you got 4 of whatever amount of Super Bowls they got, I can see getting rid of one of these rings. Personally, I'm giving it to the family. Like I might toss it to the family, like, yo, I wouldn't want you to sell this, but here. You got a Super Bowl ring. Cherish it as long as you can. I'm not going to keep on giving you money forever, so this is going to be like the last thing you can give away. Yeah, that's all. We got off subject. Adrian Peterson got traded from the Saints to the Arizona Cardinals today for a pick. They didn't say what pick yet, but there's a draft pick being traded for this. Reasons are Adrian Peterson is livid with the Saints. He hasn't been getting any playing time. Mark Ingram and the rookie Kumara.
Yeah.
Kumara and Mark Ingram has gotten most of the run, and they've been doing good. It's not like they have no running game. Mark Ingram and Kumara have been setting the pace.
They'll keep up with like 70 yards or something.
On the flip side, the Arizona Cardinals lost David Johnson first game of the year. Fucked up my fantasy season. And he was either the number 1 or number 2 pick for everybody in
Everyone in fantasy. So who else? Who's currently running? Is it?
Oh, yeah. Chris Johnson basically got
Chris Johnson?
That was
CJ2K.
CJ2K and Andre Ellington.
Andre Ellington, he's garbage. Oh, what another disappointing player I had on my team.
I think the Andre Ellington thing was he was starting. Like that's the issue with running backs. Is as soon as we hear that a new running back is starting, we all think like he must be good. Somebody's letting him start. Then we find out real quick, like, ooh, Andre Ellington was no. How many weeks do you think we like kept on starting him just because we thought like, oh, this is gonna work out eventually, and it never worked out.
Maybe 3 weeks. It was.
And again, no matter what you think about Adrian Peterson right now and like his injury thing, he walks into Arizona being the best running back by a gap.
I think so too.
Big ass gap. And I love CJ2K. CJ2K is like low key like the Vince Carter of this generation of football.
Yeah.
But no, Adrian Peterson's better than you, bro. And Andre Ellington couldn't shine the shoes. Swear to God, Andre Ellington couldn't shine Adrian Peterson's shoes. Does Andre Ellington have 1,000 yards for his career yet? And he's been trying to play for like 4 years, like let alone for a season. And I'm talking about like you can even put all purpose. Even though at that point I bet he has 1,000 yards between rushing and receiving, better. But yeah, like I said, CJ2K had a 2,000-yard season, so I can't talk that much shit about CJ2K. But he's definitely not Adrian Peterson.
But that'd be super dope if they were. I mean, that'll never happen.
Andre Ellington, how many yards does he have for his career? Because I'm assuming it's not more than 1,000. 1,700. How many years he played?
Career, we're going from.
He's been in. He's
1,746 total yards in his career, and that was 4 years. 2011.
He's been 4 years. Yeah, that's too much. I'm not saying you should have 1,000 yards a year, but he's played. What'd you say?
600, 700 a year.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's a minimum. I'm saying,
Yeah, I would give you at least 3.
About 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're not a superstar, if you're a superstar, 1,000 yards a year regardless.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even average, like if you're just an average running back, you should have more than 1,700 yards in 4 years. And you were given the starting job at one point.
Right now, he has 13 attempts for 49 yards.
This season. And the dudes in the starting running back was hurt the second quarter of the first game.
So you were already you've been in all 5 games right now.
Think about this. No, this is the thing about now. Think about the Andre Ellington thing. They brought Chris Johnson off the street and started him on the depth chart above Andre Ellington immediately. Like Chris Johnson came off the street and started above Andre Ellington.
Yeah.
And at this point, Adrian Peterson is damn near coming off the street to start above Andre Ellington.
Pretty much right at this point. Shit. I would like to see Adrian Peterson get it.
Oh no! You know what pisses me off is I got rid of him in all my leagues this last week. I got rid of him last week in one league, and on Sunday I dropped him for somebody. I dropped him to get the dude from the Giants.
Maybe I'll pick him up. We'll see who picks him up this week.
I know I'm not going to get him. I'm trying to re-pick him up in all my leagues, but my waivers are terrible.
I don't know who I want to get rid of like that.
I already got all that set up. It's just the fact that I got to make it past. I'm last in waivers in 2 leagues, and then I'm like 5th in another league. So I don't expect to get the players I want this week.
Yeah, that's all right.
Shit, there's Tevin Coleman's open in one of my leagues.
Oh,
found that out today. That's my Who would you pick up, Tevin Coleman or Adrian Peterson?
Tevin Coleman. I'm not even. It's right. Tevin Coleman. I already know he's guaranteeing 10 points. Adrian Peterson hasn't done anything this year to show me that he can play. I'm not banking like that he doesn't know how to play, but the last year he played before, he didn't do really much. And then this year he hasn't done anything, so I can't really I'm basing off of you're not doing anything, so I'm not gonna put my hope in. If it's between Coleman and Peterson, it's gonna be Coleman. If I have another spot, if I have Matt Forte also on the bench, I'll get rid of Forte for Peterson. But I already got rid of Forte for somebody else.
So you finally cut Forte.
Forte has been cut. Forte has now been cut. I had a guarantee. He's out. He's been out every single game. He might have got 5 points. But
I'm just saying, you tried to trade me this man 3 days ago on some legitimate shit.
Yeah.
And now you cut him from your team. See, I see how it is.
What?
I see exactly how it is.
Yeah. Well, no, I needed a receiver, so I had to switch out because I had enough running backs.
Whatever you say.
Charlie Sims, you're going to be cut next. And I have to change my entire name at this point.
Charlie Sims is the 3rd string running back for the Buccaneers. You probably should have cut him as soon as Doug Baldwin got out of suspension. Jacquizz Rodgers is better than Sims.
Jacquizz Rodgers better than Andre Ellington.
That's not a high ceiling.
He's better than
the only person that's better than that would be like saying Ryan Matthews.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know who's better. That's my point. That's how bad Ryan Matthews and Andre Ellington are. There's not a lot of people that are that bad.
Ryan Matthews is probably better than Andre Ellington.
See, we're making some progress here.
I'm making Wow. You got me to say that.
Yeah, because I thought this man would square up with Ryan Matthews.
I'll square up with him. He ruined a lot of fantasy. My opinions about him, I can give a damn.
Just because you kept so much hope in this man. And I feel like you were the only one that started him both in San Diego and Philly.
No, I didn't do it in Philly.
Oh, okay.
No, San Diego, yeah.
Yo, you were starting him in San Diego and talking so much shit while you were starting. You were so mad you had to start him. Because then Brandon Oliver came out and balled.
Yeah.
Remember that when he went off for 30 points and you're like, well, why can't Ryan Matthews do this?
Why can't? Yeah, he can. Too injury prone and and LT, he could never like, fill in that gap.
Well, before we go off into our next break and we do Overly Unfiltered, I want to give you a little bit of topic before the Overly Unfiltered, but we're going to talk about this next segment too. NFL Week 6 power rankings came out. Kansas City Chiefs, number 1. Philadelphia Eagles, shockingly, number 2. I didn't know the Eagles was that good. Number 3, Green Bay Packers. Number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. And number 5, the Carolina Panthers. My bad. Nose all stuff up. That's your top 5. Only one AFC team in the top 5. That is the Chiefs at number 1. The rest are all NFC.
Yeah.
And so let y'all think about that while we hit the break. This is GM Worldwide Radio. Jay Skyline and James here with Unfiltered. We'll be right back. We're going to wrap up with a little bit of this talk about the power rankings and Overly Unfiltered in a couple minutes.